Thank you for tuning in to Dropping Jewels podcast. It has been a while since I have actually done an episode, but I have been going through what we call life. And so things are going absolutely well with me. And so I just wanted to talk about some things that I have just been mindful of throughout this journey called life. Again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. For those that have actually been around and listened to my episodes and enjoy them, I am going to do my best to post or to at least record as many episodes as I can on a weekly basis because it is about motivating, encouraging, and just giving you insights on just life and just talking about topics that sometimes we deem not to want to discuss, but it has to be addressed. So, today's topic I want to discuss win your battles with smart choices. So, I just want to know from listeners, are you tired of feeling like you're constantly struggling to come out on top? Sometimes when we're in a working environment and we may not be too comfortable with our coworkers or management, we tend to think about, is it best to address situations? And so, with this episode, let's talk about how we can make smart choices that will help us win your battles and achieve your goals. So, with this episode, I want to share powerful strategies and techniques to help you make informed decisions, overcome obstacles, and emerge victorious. First, you have to identify your strengths and weaknesses to develop a winning mindset. So, we'll cover it all. We'll talk about as much as we can so you can start winning your battle and achieving your success. We're going to discuss and discover some secrets to make smart choices that will change your life. So, let's go ahead and sit back and focus on some challenges of making smarter choices in everyday situations to win my battle or just to be any battle. So let's think about it. What are some battles that we face every day? Just think about it for a second. And as we talk about it and listen to those um battles that we face in this world, how can we be able to create positive choices in life? And let's go ahead and just discuss statistics on the impact of choices that affects our everyday life. And we don't really pay attention to, you know, making individualistic decisions. But it's important because the effects or the impact of these choices can sometimes determine our future and determine our path. Um, it's important how we decide to build relationships. It's important to even decide how we spend our money and talk about values and beliefs we choose to live by. Making the right decisions, believe it or not, can lead to a healthier and happier life. But when you make the wrong decisions, it can lead us into situations we do not want to be a part of. And it can create a negative impact in our well being. So it is important to make conscious decisions that align with our values and goals. So if you think about it, the estimated average adult makes 35,000 remotely conscious decisions each day. Hmm. So those conscious decisions could be choices that focuses on impulsiveness, avoiding things, and not really prioritizing. So, why is it hard for us to make choices? That's something that is a battle. And then sometimes that it's hard because it's a fear of failure. Sometimes we lack confidence or even information. Indecisiveness can definitely make it a challenging topic. It could be a decision that can be stressful on us. It's important that you sit back and you balance the ways and the pros and cons and the weight of it all. It's really hard to trust people. Let's be honest, listeners. Sometimes it is hard to trust people because those same people may not want to see you succeed. So sometimes those same individuals who don't want to see you succeed, they struggle themselves. And as they struggle, they want you to be a part of that same process. And so let's focus on the ability, the powerful insight, the technique that can change the approach of your decision making, and just to be able to understand that when you're in a situation where you may feel like this is not redeemable, or I cannot overcome that obstacle, or this person is in this position and I can't see myself trying to be the best version of myself, or I can't see myself grow. Just know that there are approaches of decision making that can allow you to win the battle. So let's go ahead and talk about those techniques of decision making and how it can create a powerful outcome for ourselves and a positive outcome. So let's talk about prioritizing. Let's find a way to prioritize our decisions. So sometimes we act upon emotions because the things that we don't like, or the things that we don't see ourselves being a part of, may in turn be the best way to be able to improve your decision making and how we manage our time. So, one thing I can say is that maybe you can make a list of things that you want to accomplish. Again, those same individuals that you're trying to battle may not even remotely have a list. They're just going through the motions. And so, for you to have a list, it starts with the smallest decision that can make you feel empowered, make you feel accomplished, make you feel confident in the decisions that you're making. Sometimes being able to talk to someone that has equal mindset as you, it helps you understand that this too shall pass and that you can do bigger and better things to be able to succeed, to be able to um, focus on those smart choices to overcome those challenges. It's also important to be assertive. Understand that making those goals and having those objectives, you have to be able to apply it. And I'm not saying talk about it to everyone, but sometimes it's good to move in silence. Set deadlines for yourself. So, for you to make it a point to make smart choices, you can set a deadline for yourself. At this particular date, I'm going to go ahead and go to school and finish. or at this particular date, I'm going to go ahead and find another place of employment. It's the choices that we make, because one thing, the focus is making sure that your decision making puts you in a place that you don't feel defeated. Analyzing what you have done and sit back and figure out, why did I do this at that moment? And if this process, and based upon, what I've gathered, the information that I've gathered is not going as planned, let's sit back, analyze the situation, move in silence, write things down, make a list to make the right choice professionally, and it could be private as well. So I just encourage you to listen to some of those strategies that I mentioned. Share those experiences of decision making with other people that has been positive. Know that you can win whatever battle that you're facing. I would like to thank those listeners out there. Remember, my podcast, Dropping Jewels podcast, is on all the major listening platforms. Definitely stay tuned for any episodes that come about this week and moving forward. I know that I have been so behind on sharing my life's journey and strategies, but I'm always open for guests. I'm always open for co hosts that are regulars, because it is important that communication be had. It's important that we discuss positive things to uplift everyone out there. So, again, I thank you for listening to Dropping Jewels podcast, and I appreciate you, for those who have been listening for a while, and for those who just started listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, win your battles with smart choices. Again, until next time, have a good one, guys. Bye.